Hi everyone, August 5th, and today I'm recording from inside because there are people working and there is all this noise outside suddenly. So it was easier as I am in the room from which I usually work, and I now have my luggage spread across because we're leaving in 1.5 days, and I started packing. And it's just interesting because I've reduced so many of my possessions. I mean, as you know by now, we've gotten rid of all of our possessions. And even my personal items, I've reduced a lot. And even out of those that I reduced again when we were packing to come to Mexico because I knew it was going to be summer and I just took very few things. And still, I took too much. And it's interesting because now, I didn't want to travel with that many things, and yet I guess I'm looking for choice. I guess we always want choice. I wasn't sure where I'm going, and I wasn't sure what the kind of dress code would be or how comfortable I would be. And it's interesting also how in the very beginning, I was still kind of dressing up in a more fashionable way, and like as if, to my habit as I was when I was living in the city. And as I relaxed into being here, it was very interesting to see how the way I dress here has changed as well. So much simplicity. And I'm wondering whether, I always had a relationship with clothes, one of self-expression. I love mixing and matching unmixable things and unmatchable things. I actually have a lot of fun with my clothes. But what was interesting here is that maybe what was happening at some point is I stopped needing to be in any kind of performance. That maybe when I am in town where it's more of I guess people maybe are more dressed up than I am, also more of like a relationship with these other people. And I feel that I need to be of a certain state or look as well. It's interesting because I guess it's kind of coming up to me to question even myself, like, okay, so for whom am I dressing really? But I know it's not for other people. Very often it's the way I feel in the moment. And so what's been happening here is that when we got here, I was still kind of dressing for myself, the previous version. And the more I was relaxing into being here, the more I was also adapting myself, not only to the climate because it's very hot, and the looser, the simpler the clothing, the more comfortable my body was. But I think it's also my relationship with myself was shifting, like who I needed to be here was shifting. The relationship to clothes was shifting. What's also interesting is like I didn't iron any of my clothes here. I just didn't feel the need. So I would just air dry things, and I never had to worry about, even if it is a little wrinkly, it just wasn't even entering into my mind that was a problem. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's so interesting, once again, how our relationship with clothes, I'll speak about me. My relationship with clothes is about self-expression. However, that also changes depending on who I am, as regards to the place where I inhabit. Because I know that when I'm going to be in New York in a few days, some other clothes will be used, and I will want to actually, wear something different for a change. And then when we go to Paris, like, who knows how I'll feel there. The climate may be slightly different. And anyway, but what I'm saying, what's really, really interesting, and it's kind of that same point that I often come to, it's always me and me. It's not really so much about the other people who may be looking at me or who may be perceiving me. It's always about me, the message I want to send about myself to other people who look at me or who are interacting with me. And those other people may or may not look at me, right? So again, like, it's never even about other people. It's about my own relationship with myself when I am with other people, my perception of how people in this environment or in that environment may perceive me, but I guess that's my own projection. So so it's really, really interesting because, so what I was saying is, when I was packing for Mexico, I had no idea what to expect, so I took a little bit of everything. A lot of the clothes that I took, I didn't use. Now I am packing, and in the beginning I was really, really annoyed with myself that I took so much stuff, even though I've reduced everything so dramatically. And now that I am thinking, okay, what could I eliminate? Maybe some things I can leave behind. I notice again, like, no, I still like these things. Like, I still may one day want to wear it or use it. So that idea that we need choice, I've been poking at it a lot when I was here, because we need some choice. Yes, some moods, like some moods required a different clothing, a different self-expression. But some other things, like that idea of choice, it's funny because I will be in places where I can easily buy whatever it is that I want. But then the philosophy of mine will kick in. Why should I buy more when I already have so much? So there is that as well. That I don't want to buy more if I already have things that I love. So then I'm keeping things that I may not be wearing just in case, because I don't want to buy any more. That's very clear. But then the luggage, the baggage that we carry with us for the things that I should have it just in case. So, it's interesting. It's interesting to reflect. I'm not sure I have any kind of a well-packaged feeling about it, but I would love to hear from whoever may be watching what your relationship with clothing is, because I think there is so much there, especially for women. But I think clothing, it's not simplistic. There's a code of behavior. There is a kind of a message about ourselves that we want to transmit. There is that sense of like, oh, I want choice. And then again, that, I'm still kind of conflicted in my philosophy. What to hold on to and what I can let go. So here's where I am today as I'm packing my bags yet again, and reflecting on all these things, the clothes, what they meant when I bought them. I brought so many things here that I haven't worn once, but I know I will wear where I'm going. So that's, it in itself is not a problem. Anyway, just different reflections as I am in these final hours, last days here, and confronting, my luggage that's sitting right in front of me in various states of being packed. All right, everyone, see you tomorrow.